Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Red Dawn channel and another episode of Monster Hunter Monday. And in today's episode, I will be going over my sleeper bow build. And at the moment, I am absolutely loving this build because I can sleep the monster, I can place some mega barrel bombs at his face and blow him to pieces. On top of that, you are going to be a stasis player, but at the same time producing quite a bit of damage, so that not only are you going to be helping out your team members, you are going to be doing a lot of damage. So if you are after a ranged damage DPS build, I would suggest that you make this build, test it out for yourselves, and then, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But without further ado, let's get into what we're using and let's go over the build. So to begin with, I am using the Cross Hunter's bow. Yes, I wish I could get the Rarity 8 version of this, but I'm in the process of doing so. But at the moment, as it stands, this is a really, really nice weapon to use. Reason being is because you've got your close range coating, and the only thing that it doesn't have is a power coating. But as I've already said, you're building up your stasis. That is where this build comes into fruition. I'm using an attack charm 3, which I will go over as to why in a minute. Vitality mantle, health booster, I kind of stick to these two because, if you're a little bit shit at the game like myself, when it comes to dodging monster attacks, you're going to need something to get both your health back and give you a little bit more defense. So these two, for me, I'll always be carrying them, because realistically, as you can see, I don't really have much else that's useful. But anyway, going over to the Dragon King eye patch, I've got the Dobermail Beta, Xeno Claws Alpha, Nergigante Coil Alpha, and the Diablos Nero Greaves Beta, which these give me the normal shots and recovery speed that, I like having recovery speed, and on this build, normal shots is really nice to have. Nergigante Coil gives me the extra attack boost and stamina surge because, when you're using the bow, you're going to be dodging around quite often, so, having the extra 10% of recovery speed is really, really nice. Then I'm using the Xeno'jiiva Claws to give me some flinch free to prevent knockbacks. Critical boost because, having a bit of crit damage, is really nice, but boosting that crit damage that you do by 30% is really, really good. I'm using that skill because, this weapon that I'm using at the moment does have a blast element, so, increasing the explosive power by 10% is really nice, and when I'm using the blast coating, you've got a better chance of landing that blast attack, so that means that you're going to be doing an extra 10% of blast damage, which is really, really nice. Then I'm using the Dobermail, so, that means that I've got my attack boost and some critical eye. Then I'm using the Dragon King eye patch for that weakness exploit. Now, to quickly go over the decorations that I'm using at the moment, I'm using a Defense Jewel 1, Meowster Jewel 1, Expert Jewel 1, Bomber Jewel 1, and my Recovery Jewel. So the Recovery, as I've already gone over, allows me to, get my recovery up quite nicely. The, oh Christ, that skill, god damn it, allows my explosive power to be increased by 10%. Expert Jewels, giving me some extra affinity. Meowster to increase my Palico's attack and defense, and then the defense to also increase the defense of my own equipment. So let's go over the skills that are currently on the gear set. So you'll be running around with a very snazzy attack boost level 7, which will give you the plus 21 attack and plus 5 affinity, so you've got extra crit and you've got extra attack, which is really nice. Weakness exploit, because if you are a ranged user, you have no excuse in which not to be hitting those weak points. So that means that if you're hitting weak points, you've got that 30% increased affinity, which goes in really nice with the 30% extra damage we get from critical boost. Defense boost level 1, which, increases my defense. Recovery speed, gone over already. And the really important one for this build is normal shots, which you get from your Diablos Nero Greaves. That increases the power of your normal ammo and normal arrows, which is really, really nice. Then I've got my critical eye, critical boost, stamina surge, Palico Rally, and then I've got my flinch free. So all in all, these are some really, really nice skills in which you can use to get, some good DPS, some good damage off, and with the coatings that you have available, you are going to be quite an important player in terms of stasis. So if you are after a support but damage dealing build, I would suggest building this build. And as always, it has the added bonus of looking fucking amazing. Anybody who makes mix sets at the moment knows the downside of making mix sets. They're either going to look shit or they're going to look semi-okay, but I do think this set looks semi-okay. So as always, guys, that's a very small but insight into what I'm using at the moment. So if you did enjoy the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It does actually help out quite a bit. It allows me to make more content, and it shows me that you guys like what I'm doing. But as always, it's been the Red Dawn, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Monster Hunter Monday. See you in a bit.